Hi, thank you for making the time to listen to our intermodal trip planning presentation. First, I want to take a minute or two to talk about how intermodal trip planning fits in the paratransit equation, and more importantly, why it's becoming a hot topic now, despite the fact that fixed route networks have been around for a little while. In paratransit, much like in the rest of the transit universe, our world is all about the customer service and how we deliver it. The additional challenge here, though, is how we can deliver a service that can cost anywhere from $20 to $65 per trip, depending on where you are, when you can charge only about $4 to $5 maximum for that same trip. It is with that in mind we think about optimizing as much as we can in advance, doing the right scheduling, doing the re-optimizing, site tuning, etc. to make sure the fleet configuration fits the service that we want to provide. But then the day starts. The great schedule that you created starts degrading because there's insertions, there's cancellations, there's all sorts of unscheduled real-life events that's going around. Then, after all said and done, we do our reporting, the business intelligence to improve our operations in a cycle. But we don't stop there. We continue introducing new functions such as web bookers so riders can schedule, view, cancel trips online, or integrated voice response systems so riders can get the information they need without waiting on the line to talk to a customer service representative, or so that we can call ahead telling riders that their rides are on its way. We introduce electronic payment mechanisms so we can authenticate authorized riders and avoid fraud, and we're doing all of these things to improve services that also help keep operational costs down. So we do all that, but the challenge still remains. The budgets are still under pressure and the demand is increasing. Consider this, 10 to 12% of the US population is currently disabled, and those numbers are increasing, and approximately 12 to 15% of the population is over the age of 65, and that percentage is also increasing at a faster pace now that the baby boomers are nearing the threshold. So what is ITP? ITP is the ability to offer a single trip that combines multiple modes of transportation, and in this case mode of transportation could be any mode of transportation that's included in the fixed route network that has a schedule, such as buses, subways, trains, ferries, or even planes. In terms of paratransit operations, however, ITP is all about prioritizing those riders who are qualified for the specific services higher. It's about aligning closely with Americans with Disabilities Act requirements. It is about servicing the growing demand with existing resources so you can accommodate the growing ridership with your limited existing resources, vehicles, drivers, etc. And it's all about reducing costs too. Let's talk about a business case. We've deployed ITP in New York City in 2010, and ever since then we've been working with them to enhance the functionality so we can achieve further operational efficiencies and cost savings. Out of the $600 million or so that they have in budget, 88% of the budget goes to delivering the services. The rest goes to call centers, scheduling, vehicle purchases, eligibility, etc. In 2010, they were asked to reduce budget from $600 million to $500 million or so. They mandated 4 cost-cutting initiatives. The first one was reducing total trips provided. They wanted to offload a lot of the trips to fixed full route and enforce some stricter rules and policies. This translated into about $34 million in savings. The second initiative was around converting contracted trips to fixed route feeder trips. This is the ability to provide a trip that consists of a paratransit segment followed by a fixed route segment. The third initiative was reducing the average cost per trip. This again using a combination of ITP, elimination of the costliest carriers, and taxi voucher brokerage system, which we have provided assistance with. And the last one was around reduction of non-service related costs. These are outside the system, essentially not impacted by ITP. After all said and done, New York saved about $80 to $85 million in 2011. New York did a great job in phasing ITP deployment. The first thing they looked critically is their eligibility. They were able to look at the physical capabilities, the speed of walking, weather conditions, and really carve out an eligible population that would be offered ITP trips. So it's not an all or nothing proposition. Then they considered launching only the fixed route option, where the trips that are offered would be either paratransit or fixed route. Then they introduced the concept of a feeder and fixed route, where some of the trips would be offered as paratransit for the first segment and as a fixed route in the second. Then they also started expanding and looking into feeder and fixed route and include ferries. And then the next step will be to introduce brokerage so they can enhance the cost-cutting measures a little better. And then one thing that's still on the radar is reverse feeder concept. According to their predictions, they expect paratransit trips to constitute about 74% of their service offering in 2011 and going forward, and the full fixed route trips to consist of 6% of their trips. The remainder 20% they suspect is going to be feeder trips that have some component of paratransit. That was the New York business case. Now I would like to show a couple of screenshots so that you can get a sense of what the workflow looks like. This is the screenshot that the user taking the call will see if a trip results in an ITP trip. As you can see in this particular itinerary, we can see that the rider is being asked to walk from their residence to a bus station and then catch a certain bus and then walk to their final destination after they get off the bus. The system is clever enough to understand that there are certain things that you don't want to do. For example, you don't want them to potentially transfer, you don't want them to be waiting too long at the bus station, you don't want them to have to wait too long for the next bus if they miss this particular prescribed bus. There's lots of intelligence in the system that makes sure that we are offering only the smartest schedule available. I also wanted to show this feeder trip itinerary. This is where the rider is offered a portion of their trip on a paratransit vehicle, and then the remainder of the trip would be completed by a bus service. ITP always triggers a lot of good questions, a lot of good discussions, so if you're interested, definitely give us a call and then we'll go through a little bit more detail in a demo environment and possibly some more guidance around how to manage the political and social aspect of such a deployment consideration. Thank you and have a great day.